Viewer discretion is advised. Go where no man has gone before.
It'll make your head spin. It'll knock your socks off.
Broadcasting live from 48-degree downtown Cleveland. It's station WDWL TV, home of not one, but 2 stars on the Hollywood Walk of Fame and an Oscar. I'm your guest host, Grumpy Stern. Oh, yeah, and this bird does something. I don't know. Oh, no wonder I'm not hearing right. I was going to say, a little quiet for... damn. Well, that's what happens when you're the guest host. You're not here all the time. Oh, that sounds so much better. Oh, yeah. Yeah. I seem to be getting some weird feedback here. That's better. There was something going tick, 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 tick. I'm your guest host, Grumpy Stern. The grumpy old man, I don't know, he's out frying sausage or something. They call me in at the last minute. So, how's everybody doing? We might have some new listeners tonight. Mainly, my favorite cashier who has returned from her, well, let's see. She gave her notice, and the last hour that she was supposed to work, I guess they called her in the office, wined her and dined her, and I saw her back today. So it made my day. You like the new shades? These are sharp. Yeah, these are classy, man. Look at they even got the side shade. I'll tell you what, these things are thick and heavy, man. This frame is unbelievable. Yeah, I couldn't pass these up. $2.14 from my favorite place, Temu.com. Yeah, clearance. I don't know if I have enough nerve to wear them out in public, though. I look like a pimp. Although it goes with the wig real well. I really look like Grumpy Stern now. And you know, the nice thing is, they are big enough and deep enough that I can wear my bicycle focal so that I can see, because these are just plain. So that way I can read the chat and I don't have to switch glasses. I spotted these on Temu and I was like, oh, I got to get these. Kathy will love these. They are classy, though. I like the side shade. I don't know. I'll try wearing them out in public. Because with the other glasses underneath, I can read. But boy, I'll tell you what. These are some heavy sunglasses. But for $2.14, I was even if they, I used them once and they broke. But they're heavy duty. Man, they are unbelievable. They've got this big, heavy, thick frame. I couldn't pass them up. As a matter of fact, when I ordered the Grumpy Stern hair, I ordered these. And actually, they weren't, they were supposed to be silver. And the silver went out of stock. So they refunded my money, and I went back on the site, and they had like 6 pair of these left on clearance. So I grabbed them. Hey, the gold looks better anyway. It matches the headphones. But I couldn't pass them up. As soon as I saw them, I said, oh, Kathy will love these. And if my cashier is watching, it's me. Here. Okay? Yeah, I gave her a little gift today. I had these pens made up off of Temu. They're bamboo, and you could get engraving. So the engraving says, stolen from the grumpy old man. Stolen from the grumpy old man. And they're gel pens. So I gave her a couple, and she goes, who's the grumpy old man? Well, I also have business cards printed up. And it's got the station on it, and it says YouTube at 7. And so I handed her one, and I said, this is the grumpy old man. You'll have to tune in. So hopefully she's catching the show tonight. And that way the next time I go into the store, she'll laugh her ass off. I told her, don't expect much. Because she looked at the WDWL TV and went, oh, do you do the news? I said, no, I do a lot of bitching. Then she asked me, well, how long you had a YouTube channel? And I said, going on 4 years. How many subscribers? I said, well, I just lost one. I'm down to 115. Then she suggested going on TikTok Live and Instagram Live. And I said, I can't do that on OBS. So I might end up having to bite the bullet, go back to Prism, pay whatever their monthly fee is, so that I could do multiple platforms. Because with Prism, you could do 4. So that way I could do YouTube, Faceplant, Instant Graham Cracker, and Tucktick. And that way I would cover all the major platforms. And maybe get some more subscribers. As much as I hate having to pay for anything, so I think tomorrow I'm gonna clear some of the junk away so that I can access the computer over in Studio One and re-download Prism over there. The only problem, the only thing that aggravates me, in order for me to do TikTok and Instagram, I have to sign up for accounts. I really, I don't know. I don't know if it'd be worth it. It's not like I'm cranking 100,000 subscribers. I'm digging these sunglasses, though. Watching myself go, hey. Whoa, easy. I don't know if this thing's flammable. Boy, that'd be a hell of a show. Light a cigarette and my hair go up in flames. There, put a little more light on the subject. I have a halo lamp over me. It's the only halo I'm ever going to have. Because I ain't getting no halo the other way. Yeah, I went up to the store and I knew she was there because she showed me her car when she bought it. And I'm walking around, I walk in and I don't see her at the cash register. And I looked up at the service desk and I looked at the time and I was like, well, she either gets off at 1 or 3. And it was 1:45. So I picked up some meat and I picked up some half and half. And I was going for another bottle of crinkleberry juice. And who was stocking in the aisle? Which made it nice because we were able to have a little chat. I didn't have to worry about a customer behind me. Oh, really? I guess the thing broke up in pieces. I thought maybe it came down all in one big lump. And they said when it hit the atmosphere, it kind of broke up in pieces. But that sonic boom when it broke the sound barrier, holy shit. I remember back in the day when they were testing military jets all over the place. And they were doing sonic booms all over. And people were getting pissed. God, I remember the first time there was a sonic boom in the neighborhood. I think every neighbor came out and was looking like, what blew up? Well, you know, what they'll do is they'll get NASA out there and then they'll be with their frickin' Geiger counters and everything because they want to make sure that it's not radioactive. Yeah, old NASA will be out there roping the area off. But it will be cool. Especially if it came down one big lump. Hey, Vlad's here. How you doing, buddy? You showed up at the right time tonight. Guest host. I don't think Vlad has ever seen Grumpy Stern. I think this is probably a first for him. What do you think of Grumpy Stern, Vlad? Do I look like him? The wig, definitely. I mean, when I got the wig, I looked up pictures of him and I was like, that's it. I got the hair. He doesn't go as wild with the glasses though. Oh yeah, the old Baba Booey. God, I remember back in the day he had Stuttering John. And who was the midget? I can't remember the name of the midget. He had a midget. Well, they call them little people now. So he had Stuttering John. Yeah, it looks pretty close, doesn't it, Vlad? I'm trying to think of all the idiots that he had. He had Stuttering John. He had that little midget. There were a couple other. Matter of fact, Stuttering John has got a YouTube channel. I never followed Stern too much. I didn't really care for him. I'd listen now and then. It depended on who he had as a guest. Then when he went to satellite, I wasn't paying for that. Plus, I don't have a vehicle that has satellite radio in it. You got to remember, I'm driving 30-year-old vehicles. They're lucky they got AM/FM in them. Although the old Passat has AM, FM, cassette, and a CD player. That car's got the deluxe sound system from back in 2000. Although I'll tell you what, that car's got dynamite speakers in it. When I put, not so much with AM or FM, but when I put the CD in the other day, man, that car has a very impressive sound system for being a 2001. Oh, I remember back in the day, my neighbor had a Volkswagen Beetle, and it had a shortwave, because he brought it over from Germany. When he was in the Army, he was stationed over there for a couple of years. And then he brought it over. And I remember it had a shortwave radio in it. A Blaupunkt shortwave. I gotta lose these. They're too dark. They're way too dark. I have to lose these monster sunglasses. Look at the thickness of them frames. I mean, these things got some meat to them. I like the side, the side. Pretty heavy duty for $2 on clearance. I'm impressed. But they're a little too dark in the studio. I need to see. Yeah, Vlad's pumping the channel up here, considering we lost a subscriber. I still think he's lurking in the background. Because he would be too bored. Because every night he was just about the first one in. So I think he's lurking. That's all right. He don't have to get in the chat. It don't bother me. So what have you been up to, Vlad, since we see you very rarely? Anything new going on your end of the world there? Yeah. With Ron, it was 116. That's how I knew he unsubscribed. Because the next day, it dropped. And I knew it was him. Well, I'm glad to hear it, buddy. You gotta pop in more often, although I know the time difference. It's past your bedtime. Yeah, that's what I say, Vlad. Every time I open my eyes in the morning, I'm like, oh, I'm living the dream again today. One more day to go on YouTube. Well, I do other things, but although I did drag out my two GoPros. So I'm getting them charged up. I got brand new memory cards for them. Because Kathy wants me to put one in the car and take a drive through the neighborhood. Like I used to do. I'd pop the old GoPro on the back window of the shit box and drive up and down the freeway. Although one day I'm driving along and the damn camera popped off. The suction cup wasn't mounted tight. Camera fell on the floor. Picked it up. Had to pull over the side of the freeway, stick it back on the window. Although I got to drive around with them first. I have some fender mounts. So I can have a camera inside the car, and then I can have a camera outside the car. $34.55, welcome. You're always welcome here. Vlad has good taste if he told you to come over here. Yeah, I'm going to test the fender mounts out because I don't want no camera falling off the car. And that way I'll have a camera facing outward, and then I'll have one at the end of the fender facing inward. Like somebody wants to see me driving, but do it Jay Leno style. I hope they work. I bought them from the same place Leno buys his from, so they got some pretty good sized suction cups on them. But I'm going to stick them on the fenders and drive around with them before I put the camera on them. Feels good to be back to coffee instead of cranberry juice. Ugh. Although I'm still drinking this shit. You know, I tell everybody, don't put your life in your cell phone. And I learned the hard way to have a backup. Now, every one of my contacts in my cell phone, I was able to print it out. I watched a court video today, and this guy come in gung-ho, you know, I got all this evidence. And the judge said, well, where is it? He said, well, it's in my cell phone, but my cell phone is at the repair shop. And he said, what do you mean your evidence is in your phone? The guy said, I've got a year's worth of emails, text messages, screenshots, And the judge says, well, a lot of good it does. Why is your phone in the repair shop? He said, well, I broke the screen. Well, first of all, why would you keep a year's worth of court filings and communications in your cell phone without printing it out, having something to hold in your hand? Yeah, he's standing there in court. Oh, I got all kinds of evidence. The judge said, well, it don't do you any good. We're having the hearing today. He said, well, can I have a continuance? He said, no. We're having the hearing right now. But he says, I don't have my evidence. Well, that's your problem. I tell all my friends, and it's very easy. Most of the cell phones, you can plug them into your computer, like I did. Bring it up on the screen, like my contacts, and hit print. And I have 2.5 pages printed out so that I have my phone numbers in case something goes wrong with my phone. Because the bad thing with cell phones is we don't memorize phone numbers anymore. Now, I still remember the phone number of the house I grew up in. But ask me if I know my sister's cell phone number. If I had to call my sister right now, I'm screwed because I have to look in my phone. But see, back in the day, first of all, we didn't have cell phones. And we memorized everybody's phone number. And we wrote them down in phone books. You know, back in the day, they had those address books. They were alphabetized. You wrote in the person's name, address, phone number. And people that I'll tell you, back in the day, if I met a girl and I said, what's your phone number? And she rattled it off, I immediately memorized it. Not nowadays. We stick them in our cell phone, and when we got to make a call, we go to our contacts. Well, if you lose your damn phone, you're screwed because your life is in it. And these cell phones, I've got Motorola Moto G stylus. I plug the phone into the computer, and whether you've got a Mac or a Windows, it'll come up, and you can choose what you want, contacts, photos, and I printed out every contact in my phone. And I have it in one of those those acetate sheet folders. Because if you break your phone or you lose your phone, you're screwed. My photos, I have backed up on an SD card. As a matter of fact, I have my phone set. As soon as I take a photo, it doesn't go into the phone memory, it goes into the SD card. And that way, if something happens to the phone, all I got to do is take the little SD card out, and I have every photo right there. Well, thank you. Greatly appreciated. You ain't never going to see 100,000 here, but that'll take me back up to 116. You just replaced Ron. Ron was 116. You just replaced Ron. You know, I really seriously think he thought he was hurting me by unsubscribing. I think that's why he did it. He was like, oh, I'll fix him. Well, it didn't hurt. I mean, yeah, I went backwards a little, but it's not like I've got 100,000 or 200,000 subscribers. You don't see no YouTube button hanging behind here. You see the 2 Hollywood Walk of Fame stars. Although it would be nice over here to have a YouTube button. But I think when he unsubscribed, he really thought he was doing some damage. Now, I'm not being mean, because he bought this background of downtown Cleveland, and I greatly appreciate it. As a matter of fact, I have easily 100 different backgrounds. I go crazy on YouTube, or not YouTube, Temu. I go into the background clearance sale, and if there's a background for a couple of bucks, I buy it. I got a suitcase full. When I got this one, I was like, I'm using this one almost forever. I do have 2 new ones. I have a different view of downtown Cleveland, and I have a view of this bridge that was taken from down in the flats. So it has the bridge from end to end. And like Kathy knows, this background has special meaning, because my father's father, helped build the terminal tower. I actually have pictures of him sitting on an I-beam having lunch. And my mother's father was a Cleveland traffic officer, and he directed traffic at the end of this bridge way down here at West 9th. Right? That was before they had traffic lights. That was his. He was in the traffic unit, and he directed traffic on that bridge. So this view means a lot to me. And I greatly appreciate Ron buying it. I don't know where he ever found it. But, when he got pissed off at me and left in a huff, I really think that he thought, I'm going to fix him. I'm going to unsubscribe. When you're sitting, between 110 and 120 subscribers, it don't hurt you that much. But I can guarantee he's lurking out there. He just don't want to get in the chat because basically I think I know the way he thinks. If he would come into the chat right now, he would feel he's eating crow or vulture. Oh. Eating vulture. Oh. Nothing out of you. I had to disconnect the sound effects. I was getting some kind of weird feedback tonight. I don't know why. I got used to them sound effects. Let me give it another try. See if I get that weird feedback. Oops. Yeah, I can hear it. I don't know if you can hear it. I can hear it. Tick, 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 tick. I don't know what that is. It's coming from the tablet. I have no idea why it's doing that. I plugged it in tonight and it, I don't know if you can hear it. I can hear it. It's like a rapid ticking. Tick, 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 tick. But it's something to do with the tablet because when I unplug the speakers, it goes away. If it isn't irritating the audience, I'll leave it plugged in. Because I miss the sound effects. You don't hear it, Kathy? All right, I'll leave it plugged in. I can see it on the audio bar. It's blipping, and I can hear. But long as you're not hearing it, I miss the sound effects.
Awkward.
Yep. I'm still getting emails from Arizona. The other part, Ron was in Tempe. I'm getting emails from Scottsdale. You and them stupid sound effects. That's for you. I told her. It's part of the show. She tells me, she goes, they sound unprofessional. Who said this was a professional channel to begin with? Yeah. Oh, makes your channel sound unprofessional. You would think I was like, Rush Limbaugh or Walter Cronkite. Makes it sound unprofessional. Just because I have the professional microphone. Well, take out a few bucks for me while you're at the ATM machine. Or turn the volume up. Have a good evening, buddy. Thanks for popping in. Always good to see you. I'll tell you what, this new one, this AKG, it's the Lyra. I love this thing. I got it for free. But I'll tell you what, this AKG Lyra was rated #1 for podcasts out of PC Magazine, Electronics World, and I had a friend send me 2 of them, one for each studio. But I love this thing. I have like 50 microphones. Yeah, I'll tell you what. I have gotten more comments on this thing. And the neat thing is it has 4 heads. Now, right now, I have it set front and rear so that it picks up the sound effects. It's got stereo, but it was rated 5 stars by PC Magazine. Well, my buddy's son has a professional recording studio out in Burbank. As a matter of fact, it's in the NBC complex. He feels like a big shot every day when he drives past the guard, NBC Studios. He rents quite a bit of space over there because he's got several studios. He does commercials and podcasts and equipment testing, and yeah, AKG sent him a bunch of these to test. And any company that sends him equipment to test, when he gets done and he writes a review, they tell him keep the equipment. So he had some spares, so he sent me a couple. And he sent me these neat headphones. But I'm loving this microphone. I really am. So what I'll do is, once I get Studio One, I'm remodeling it right now. Once I get Studio One all done, then I'll be switching microphones. But for Studio 2 here, this one's staying. Because it's an outstanding microphone. It really is. Because when he told me what he was sending me, I looked it up. And PC Magazine and Electronics Inc. or something, or them online electronics magazine, everybody gave it 5 stars. They said if you are a professional podcaster, this is the mic you want. Or if you're some idiot like me that's just screwing around at night, this is the mic you want. And for free, it's even better.
Whatever.
We don't want to hear nothing out of you, bird. Ate some nasty roadkill. Man, the other night he had gas so bad, I was turning green. All right, enough already. Gonna replace you with the jackalope.
Whippersnapper.
Yeah, I had a good day today, walking in the store, seeing my favorite cashier. And then checking out with my other favorite cashier. Her name is Murphy. She's 87. You wouldn't think it to look at her. 87 years old. The plaza where this store is located, back in the day, it was multiple stores. It was dress shops, shoe stores. She has been working in this plaza since she was 15, and she's 87. And I asked her, I said, why don't you retire already, Murph? Jeez. And she said, I can't sit still. I have to be working. And at 80, I'll tell you what, when she told me she was 87, I almost flipped my wig. She don't look it, she don't sound it, she's as agile as can be. Although, like she said, she's never driven, never got a driver's license, never wanted to drive. She loves to walk. But I told her, I said, we're gonna get the owner to rename the plaza and call it the Murphy Plaza. Because she's been there since she was 15 years old. She started working in the dress shop. And then when the dress shop closed, she worked in the bakery for a while. And in the shoe store. And she worked at Fisher Foods and Kroger's and Gray Drug. She's worked in just about every store that was ever in that plaza. And boy, some of the stories she tells about back in the day, I remember, because that's where I used to get my shoes, Red Ball shoes. And they had that neat machine that x-rayed your feet. It was so cool. You would get up on the machine and stick your feet in the machine, and then you would look in, and he would turn the machine on, and you could see the bones in your feet in the shoe. That's how they could tell if the shoe fit properly. And man, did we get radiated. They didn't realize how much radiation them goddamn machines were putting out. They finally banned them. But yeah, you could stand in the machine and you could see, you look like a skeleton. You could see all the bones in your feet, and then you could see the outline of the shoe, and the salesman may be like, perfect fit. And they wonder why all the kids from our generation are 3 sandwiches short of a picnic. Go in to buy shoes and you get radiated. And the whole thing is they didn't realize back in the day it was a gimmick. I don't know how. I'm sure somebody probably got sick you know, and they were like, holy shit, you got radiation poisoning. What do you do for a living? I sell shoes. I'm Al Bundy. I remember we used to drive the shoe salesman crazy. Come in and say, can we see our feet? He'd be like, wait till the manager goes to lunch. We'd watch, you'd see the manager leave the store. 10 kids would run in, put their feet in the machine. Everybody be like, whoa, cool. No wonder I have to have my toe cut off. Uh-oh. I can't remember the name of the machine. You can gargle it. Foot x-ray machine from back in the 50s, put in shoe store x-ray machine or something. I looked it up once before. But you literally would stick your feet in these two holes, and then there was a viewing screen, and you could see all the bones. Then the guy would do a quick x-ray, and then he'd throw us all out before the manager came back. Yeah, it was Red Ball shoes. Because the gym shoes, we didn't call them tennis shoes back in the day, they were gym shoes. Red Ball Jets. Everybody had to have a pair of Red Ball Jets. And you could tell if somebody was wearing generic because the Red Ball Jets had a red ball at the back of the shoe. So you'd be looking, oh, you don't have Red Ball Jets. Your parents went to the cheap shoe store. Payless. I miss that store. I used to buy all my shoes at Payless. Because a lot of times they would have a buy one, get one free. A fluoroscope. Yeah, we had a lot of fun with the fluoroscope. 10 kids would go in, get radiated, then the salesman would throw us out. I read an article, they said them goddamn things leaked radiation, something fierce. You have Payless down there? We don't have them up in here in Cleveland anymore. I don't think we have any in northeastern Ohio. They used to be all over the place. There was a Payless down at Purtis Plaza. There was one up on 117th and Detroit. There was one out in North Olmsted. There was one in Fairview. I think there was one at Cam's Corners. They all closed up. I think they bailed out of Ohio completely. I used to love that store. I bought a lot of shoes in that place. And they were pretty decent. I mean, you're not talking Florsheim, you know, but you got a decent shoe for the price. Oh, yeah. 100% right, Kathy. All the good stores got banished.
Wow!
Yep. If I needed shoes, or there'd be a lot of times they would have a sale, I'd go in and buy a pair, even if I didn't need them. I had probably 8 to 10 pair of dress shoes. Every day I'd wear a different pair of shoes. Most of them were loafers because up until I could buy my own shoes, my father refused to buy me loafers. Absolutely refused. And one day I came home with a pair and he was like, "What are you doing with them?" I said, "I bought them with my own money because you were too fucking cheap." I don't know what he had against loafers. He would not buy me a pair. We go in the shoe store. I'd try on a pair and he'd say, "Put them back in the box. You ain't been, nope, nope, nope." All right, I'll get tie shoes. Oh, I got some. I'll tell you what. Like I say, you weren't getting Florsheim or a high end shoe, but Payless had some pretty decent shoes for the price. I think I had every style loafer that they made in every color. Brown ones, gray ones, blue ones. Penny loafers. And you had to keep changing the pennies because the pennies would get dirty. So you'd pop the penny out, you'd pop a new penny in. Good old penny loafers. I don't even know if they make them anymore. Although you could probably get a pair at Payless. But I remember they were big in the day, penny loafers, and white bucks. And you had to buy the rosin powder to keep them nice and clean. No, I can't wear loafers. I can't wear until I get my toe cut off. I can't wear a hard shoe. I have to wear an athletic shoe because I need the cushioning. Well, Kathy, I'm up to 25. I need 25 more. The other day when I went up to the Indian store, he gave me 10. He went through the register for me. He had 10 pennies. Brand new 2025s. So I'm up to 25 now. I need 25 more so I can make a roll of 50. Kathy, do you remember white bucks? They might have gone out of style by the time you were... I remember my cousin had a pair, and you had that it was like a rosin bag. Every night you would powder your shoes down. I don't know how he came across 10 of them. Although he thinks maybe he might have gotten a roll and not paying attention. But he had 10 in the register. So he told me, give me a dime, I'll give you all these pennies. So I'm up to 25 right now. Because I look. Every penny cup, I look. And he keeps an eye out for me. It just would have been nice if I would have been earlier, because if I would have had a roll of uncirculated, they wouldn't have been worth too much until like 50 years from now. Although I do have a roll of steel pennies. And I have a few loose ones because every now and then I'll show them off. Kids think they're counterfeit. Steel penny? I said, yeah. During the war, they needed the copper, so they made pennies out of steel. Although you got to be real careful with them. If they get moist, they start to rust. I keep mine, matter of fact, I've got them in a container with several bags of them silica gel to keep them from rusting. Yeah, I have a roll, and then I think I have 5 or 6 loose ones. Every now and then I'll take them out and show them to the kids. Because there are a lot of people that don't know that during the war, for either 2 or 3 years, they made pennies out of steel. But my grandfather had a roll, and he gave them to me, and I've got them, like I say, I have them in a plastic container with 4 or 5 packs of silica gel to keep them nice and dry. Yeah, Kathy, Google white bucks. You literally powdered them down every night. It was either a rosin bag or I can't remember. I think it was a rosin bag. And if you scuffed the shoe, you had to powder the shit out of it. And you didn't dare wear them if it was going to rain, because the shoes got all screwed up. But yeah, back in the 50s, maybe even the late 40s, white bucks. Those were Those were the cool shoes to have. Of course, I never had a pair. My father wouldn't let me have them. I told him they're tie shoes. Nope. They're not practical. I always had to wear practical shoes. My shoes look like my father bought them from a convent. Matter of fact, I think that's where he got them. Probably asked some nuns one day, where do you buy your shoes? I could never have fancy shoes. Oh, he had a shit fit when I came home with them loafers. Oh, my God. I don't know why he hated loafers so much. He couldn't stand them. Matter of fact, I remember one of the guys that worked for him up in the office when he was up in the office at White Motors. One of the guys that worked for him came in wearing loafers one day. Oh, man, he went up one side of that guy and down the other. Those aren't dress shoes. They're not businesslike. Everybody on his staff had to have tie shoes. No loafers. Oh, Kathy, do you remember Chukka boots? When they came out, that was another big craze. Everybody had to have Chukka boots. Except me, I wasn't allowed to have Chukka boots. They weren't practical. God, I couldn't wait till I was old enough to buy my own shoes. But boy, that day I came home with them loafers. Oh, my God. I actually thought he was going to throw them away. Oh, did he have a fit? I said, well, I bought them with my own money. Matter of fact, talking about Florsheims, in my closet, I have a pair of Florsheims that I had sold and healed because the shoes were in such nice condition. I took them up to the shoemaker and I had soles and heels put on them. And I think I only wore them maybe half a dozen times. And they're in my closet, nice and shiny, Florsheim loafers. But I can't wear them. And I hate going somewhere where you have to look somewhat decent wearing athletic shoes. Although everybody wears them today. God, you see guys with suits and ties with athletic shoes. Yeah, out by Westgate was a shoe store, Szabo's. Szabo, Szabo Shoes. I don't even know if they're still there. I have to take a ride out. And they carried Florsheim. And that's where I bought them loafers. I paid a good buck for them back in the day. Because Florsheim was the top. That was like the Cadillac of shoes. Szabo's? Oh, oh, God. Wingtips. Oh, man. I had wingtips in a tie shoe and wingtips in a loafer. And I got, well, they were Florsheim. I got them out at, I think they called it Szabo. Szabo shoes. They were right out at 210 and Center Ridge. I'll have to look and see if they're still there. Matter of fact, I went in there on a whim. I was like, oh, shoe store. I'll go in and look. Ended up walking out with a pair of wingtip loafers and a pair of wingtip ties. The loafers were brown and the tie shoes were black. Florsheims. I dropped a good buck that day. Florsheims weren't cheap, but boy, I'll tell you what, those shoes wore like ironed. And I always took good care of my shoes. Matter of fact, I still got my old shoe shine box with my Shinola paste wax. Because I took such good care of them loafers, that's when I took them up to the shoemaker, and I says to him, I said, can you do soles and heels? And he said, oh, God, yeah, these shoes are excellent shape. And I think I only wore them about 6 times. And every now and then I take them out of the closet and look at them. Can't put them on, though. Oh, yeah, I'll tell you, the shoe repair guy told me, he said, as long as the upper leather doesn't crack and you keep it pliable, he said, I can put soles and heels on these things forever. Basically, yeah. And there is still one shoe repair shop in this neighborhood. The guy's at Cam's Corners. He's been there forever. I can't remember the name of the place. He's on the north side of the street. I know he's still there because my buddy has to get a lift put on his shoes, like a 2-inch lift, because one leg is shorter than the other. And his wife, matter of fact, he just bought another pair of shoes, and she had to take him there for him to put the frickin' lift in them. And that's basically what he specializes in. Doing, orthopedic work and prosthetic work. But yeah, my buddy has to get a 2-inch sole put on. I think it's his right shoe. And that's basically how he survives, because all the prosthetic places, they tell people to go there. I don't know what he charges, but I would tend to think it probably about as much as a brand new pair of shoes to get soles and heels today. But he's still there. God, he's been there forever. I remember him back in the 70s. He's right next door to the smoke shop. He's right next door to Dad's smoke shop. It could be. That's possible. I haven't been down that way in quite a while, but that could be the name of the place, Gino's. Because the smoke shop is right next door to him. The place that sells $50, $70, $100 cigars. I can't imagine going in and buying a $50 cigar. But he's got them. I offered to make Kathy a mod. She don't want to be a moderator. I offered because I needed one, because my moderator don't show up anymore. My moderator hasn't been here in ages. Matter of fact, he hasn't been here for so long, I forget how I would change moderators. Yeah, I offered. I asked Kathy, I said, would you like to be a moderator? She was like, nope. You ain't sticking me with that job. My moderator's over in England. And I haven't seen him in ages. He left because of the time change, and then he never came back. He never came back. Kathy knows who I'm talking about. Haven't seen my English buddy. I haven't seen my Australian buddy. Yeah, Mears used to pop in every now and then. Haven't heard from Mears in ages. So did you take a few bucks out of the ATM for Grumpy? I'll take my money anyway. Pounds, lira, dollars, loonies. I think Canada has a loonie. A loony. Sounds like me. The friendly Canadians. If there's something about Canada you don't like, they'll change it for you. Eh? Oh, I thought he was in an ATM machine.
For Pete's sake!
All right, all right. As a matter of fact, the last time I emailed my moderator, I didn't get a response back. Although Scotto hasn't popped in a long time. Shiz hasn't popped in a long time. Nobody loves me anymore. Except Kathy. She's here religiously unless she's at a ball game. And the ball games are over. Well, until baseball season. Is he going to play? Is he going to play this year? Or I should say, are they going to have a team this year? Goddamn assholes last season ruined it. This good old baseball season will be starting soon. I think Cleveland's opener is next month. I'll have to look. You don't think so? Kind of got a little disgruntled over it, huh? Although, what that other team pulled, that would be enough to piss me off, too. Assholes.
Damn!
Somebody's always going to ruin it, you know. Ooh, oh my God, really? Oh, Jesus. Wow. I feel sorry for him. Although the best thing is to stay off of it as much as possible, let it heal up right. I hate hearing that. Tell him Grumpy said get well. That's too bad. But better now than to do it like if he was playing baseball, you know, then that would really hurt, being out for the season watching all your friends play, you know. Yeah, tie him down. You ain't getting off that couch. Yeah, the best thing is stay off of it as much as possible. Let it heal up right. See, the good thing is he's got youth on his side. It'll heal fast. Yeah, Grandma'll kick his ass. Yeah, but like I say, he's got age on his side. You know, break a bone at my age, I'll be laid up for 6 months. Because when us old farts fall down, we break hips. Well, long as he stays off it, it'll heal up right. Hey, look who's here. The walking belly. I scared the shit out of him. The eyes got like two saucers and the hair went, what? I'm sorry. I'll have to give you extra treats tonight now. I scared the shit out of him. Oh, did he jump? He must have come a foot up off that floor. I didn't think it would scare you. Oh, I'm sorry. Give me that look. I'll feed you. I'll give you extra treats tonight, all right? I got your favorite. Beach Crunch or something. The blue bag. Yeah, the blue bag. Oh, he come up off that floor. Because he just kind of sauntered in, you know. I hit that and he went, whoa! All right. Give me a dirty look. I haven't seen him jump like that. He come right up off that floor. All 22 pounds of him. Woof. The tablet wants to end with the wrong song. You're ending with the wrong song, tablet. Now, we're going to end with the right one. All right, everybody. Thanks for being here. Tablet has a mind of its own. All right, we'll end it the right way. Let's try it. Try it again. Take two. All right, peoples. Grumpy Stern signing off tonight from, well, I guess the tablet's on strike. What the hell's the matter with this thing tonight? Oh. We know where, right here, station WDWL TV, home of not one, but 2 stars on the Hollywood Walk of Fame and an Oscar. You goddamn tablet. I give up. I give up. I give up. This goddamn thing. All right. I guess I better sign off before the tablet quits again. Have a wonderful rest of your evening. Everybody, thanks for being here. And we will meet again tomorrow night. And before the tablet decides to cut off, see ya. Grumpy Stern signing off. Like I said, Grumpy Stern signing off. Bye-bye.